Oh, I could record. Great. So we are here at the Analytics Instrumentation Sync on the 27th of February. And we have 2 bullets, 2 points on the agenda. The first one is me asking if somebody can give a summary, because we have had this issue the last, I'm not even entirely sure how long, maybe a week or two. That was discovered last week and turned out to be pretty severe, more severe than first. Than we first thought. So yeah, I don't know. But mostly to that we make sure everybody knows on the team we have this problem, and also which kind of alarms we can expect. Yeah, because I think in general it's pretty unhealthy if we start getting alarms and not treat them. We've kind of been in a good habit of doing that. So just to be sure of that.
Yeah, so I think it's definitely a good topic to discuss today. So maybe I will start because I first noticed this issue. Basically, I was checking the unique property name issue on production in the console. And I noticed that for one of the metrics, we have a 0 for current week. And that for another metric, we also have a 0. I also tried firing the events on production, but it seemed like the counter was still 0. So this is when I created this issue and also posted on our section channel to raise awareness.
And you just to ask you, you triggered the event or tried to trigger the event through the website.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And so basically, then Ankit noticed this issue and found out what it was caused by. And this is how we learned that it actually affected all the Redis and Redis HLL events triggered from frontend. And that it basically has affected 3 different service pings from GitLab.com. The last week's one, this week's is most affected because some of the metrics will be 0. And then it will also affect the next week's service ping because the MR with the fix is merged, but I think it's not on production yet. So the data from Monday, Tuesday will also be affected.
And was it released in 16.9? I'm not even sure I know that.
Do you know that, Ankit?
Sorry, what was the question?
If the bug was released in 16.9 in the last milestone.
So it got released on 14th of February. So I don't think it went to the self-managed one, but it is present in SaaS. Yeah.
Okay.
And
maybe we should check that just to be sure and get a hot fix if that's the case.
Yeah.
Sorry, Michal, I have a question. What is the root cause? For my own curiosity, because that bug spillover actually were our pipeline in the data warehouse. So what was the root cause for this issue? Do you know that? Did you explore it?
Well, Ankit will know better, but it seems like there's an MR removing a feature flag, and this feature functionality was removed on backend, but not on frontend. Is that it, Ankit?
Yeah, that's correct. So for usage data API, whatever API we have created, like we added a feature flag there. And while removing, it was removed from the backend, but it was not from the front end. So that was a miss. I think what we searched, I think for the backend, it is snake casing, but in the front end, it's camel casing. So I think that's why it got missed. So the fix just got merged today. So for next week, the data would be partially correct. Yeah.
Good to know. So actually, your fix is not live. Sorry, Tanya, please go on.
No, that's okay. Go ahead. I can wait. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about the impact, because this data we accepted via pipeline, put it in raw prep and prod layer and create insights based on Redis metrics data. So the question is, this is not live on production yet. I mean, completely set of Redis metrics is not fixed yet, right?
Yes.
It takes some time.
Yeah. Yes.
Why I'm asking this, because I want to catch up with Miles Russell and see his analytics engineers from the data team side and want to check with him. Does it worth to reload the data now? But I think as per your answer, if it's not fixed completely, it will not happen yet. Once when everything is done and properly loaded regarding Redis metrics, we are able to do kind of preloading. Luckily for us, we load the data once per week on each Monday morning. So what I assume theoretically on Monday morning, next Monday morning, it will be fine, right?
Yeah.
Next run. Okay.
Next run,
Just
it
to
will be
know.
fine. Yes.
Good to know. Thanks a lot for your explanation, Ankit and Michael.
Yeah, sure. And also, Miles already checked the metrics that were affected, and there will be some health scores that got affected.
Yes, that's true. Because usually in the past, when something failed, we just reload the data next day. Instead of Monday, it was Tuesday and Wednesday. And then we just do a full refresh for DBT models, and then everything is kind of fine. But in this case, because it's not fully fixed yet, we should wait until everything is there. And then, of course, inform the stakeholders. I will catch up with Miles regarding this, but yeah, thanks for explanation. Much more clear now.
So is there any reason the Monte Carlo did not pick up the loss of data? I think we have some detectors there, right? Like, is it because the numbers were not significant for it to pick up?
It's working with Monte. Yeah, speak it. Sorry, I just want to explain how it's working. Yeah, please.
Okay. Yesterday we got an alert that there were too many metrics with zeros, which we knew that it will happen because we discovered the bug last week.
Okay. So it's not early enough. Yeah.
Something that Basti mentions in the issue is that it would be cool if we were able to find it out already 1 week before that, because then we already were missing some of the front-end calls. So the metrics were already by some percentage lower than we expected. And the question is, like, do we have an alert for that? And because maybe we have an alert for that, and these drops were not dramatic enough to create an alert.
Is there something that we could do? Yeah, sorry. Is there something that we can do specifically for the health metrics to kind of make that alert a little more sensitive to less dramatic drops?
Probably we could get like the list of metrics that are included in the health index, and then create an alert for when these metrics drop, even by a lower percentage.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't created any Monte Carlo alerts, but
okay. Thanks, Michal. That helps.
Yeah. Know better.
Sorry, can I ask something? This reminds me, because there is one more issue regarding the Virgin DB. I discussed with Nico regarding this issue, because data drops in Virgin DB. We are using Monte Carlo, and we are alerted by Monte Carlo from 1K per day down to 45K records per day. Because I don't know if this bug you mentioned are related also to manual servicing, not only for SaaS. So it can be the trick, or is this how connected? If you know what I'm asking you, is this bug only for SaaS or for self-managed instances?
Two are unrelated.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
I also want to mention. I also want to mention that, like, from the list, it seems like there are more internal events tracking, which got mixed. So there are roughly 50 to 60 those events. We captured them in Snowplow, but we didn't capture in Redis. So those are still there in Snowplow, but I think 50 or 60 events we lost in this list. Yeah.
Yeah, so some of the data we could potentially retroactively recalculate, but only some of the data.
Yes.
I'm thinking if we should, this is more like maybe something to avoid this type of, or detect this kind of problems in the future. So the problem here is we have some Redis keys that are usually being updated that suddenly stopped updating, stopped increasing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering if we could kind of do something about that.
Like an alert, but on Redis side, not too late for the service ping.
Yeah, something like that. So something like we let's say we get I don't know what it could be. Maybe if we had a list of Redis keys that would usually get updated. I mean, there's the whole thing with the weak suffix and so on, but let's ignore that. But we kind of we would have a list, and then if one of these keys didn't change for, I don't know, an hour or a day or whatever makes sense, then we would get a notification. Then we would get it from SAS already. I mean, it's something new we would have to build. But we have the data there. We could kind of do something. Yeah, just an idea. It's not really an idea, really. It's more a thought. Yeah.
Yeah, potentially this sounds like something that it could also detect it earlier. But we would need to work out how we would be able to do it, like as a job in the GitLab application, or is it possible to separate it somehow? And then we could make it just check for example, the metrics that impact the health score.
Yeah. Let's discuss that at another time. But it seems like we should be able to get notified about something like this.
Yeah.
Radovan, I don't know, should we move on to the next point? Was that yours, Radovan?
Yeah, actually, just a heads up for you or question for you regarding the cell 1.0 and automated service ping jobs. Just to follow up what you're talking about Redis metrics. Do you have a final decision? Because I discussed with all of you, mainly with Basti and Nico, regarding how it will be shaped on your side regarding SQL metrics and Redis metrics. Do you have a final decision, or you're still exploring the solution? Because we need to adjust our piece of work regarding that. Any update on this?
I'm unaware of which direction they're going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. Just want to check with you, because as of now, what I discover is, okay, you're not probably sure. Will you have one cell or two cells, two endpoints, one endpoint for Redis? So it's still blurry for us. And also we want to design our system or change our system as per that. But yeah, thanks for explanation.
I think
us updated,
the last thing I heard was one endpoint per cell. But you better ask Nico about that. I'll ask you when he's back soon.
Yeah. I'm communicating with Nico about that. So yeah, it's all clear. Thank you very much. That's done. That's all from my side.
Cool. Should we wrap up? Anybody else has something? No? No. Okay. Then have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.
Folks.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.